My journey to making six figures as a music producer wasn't easy. And today I want to just talk about everything that I was going through in my life before I became a six-figure music producer, platinum producer, whatever you want to label me as. I was in the military from 2014 to 2018. I wasn't making beats when I first joined in 2014. I was coming out of college and I was a walk-on basketball player at the University of Albany State. And things wasn't really going too well as far as like my grades, and I knew I wasn't going to the league, so it really wasn't any point of trying to continue on with school. I wasn't interested. I felt like I was going to become a substitute teacher, so my parents, they were like, you might as well go to the military, and I was like, I'm gonna just go. When I went, I was super militaried out. Like, I was kind of excited to be there. And man, over the time, I just realized like that wasn't what I thought it was either. So I was always into music, and I was always into, the beats. And, I used to watch the videos of Lex Luger making beats and, Metro. And I picked up FL Studio, and I really didn't know what to do with the program. It was just a lot of blocks to me. So when I picked up FL Studio, I was living in the barracks with my homeboy, and I was just messing around with the program. I was watching Busyworks Beats. I'm pretty sure y'all are all familiar with him. And I was just learning the basics of how to control the program and do things like that. It was a process, man. Like, I couldn't grasp the idea of how to put it together. So, I kept practicing. It was pretty fun to me. I had another homeboy, and he said that we gonna get out the military and we gonna chase our music dream. He was rapping and he wanted me to make the beats, and I was like, man, you crazy, man. Like, we in the military, like we're not about to do anything else but this. But he kept telling me every day, like, this is what we're destined for. This is what we meant to do. Like, we're gonna get out and we gonna do this. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep making the beats. He making great music, so I'm gonna just keep giving them beats, and we just do that. And I kept getting better and better each day. I fell in love with FL Studio. I fell in love with the process of making beats so much that, I was leaving work to go make beats for all my military guys. Y'all know how our hours are. So, I was sneaking off from work, making beats, doing what I was doing, and coming back to work when I had to. I was so focused and so in love with making beats that's all I wanted to do. So I finally got a song with Johnny Cinco. I was emailing him, and that's how, my career kind of started. I met Cinco in Atlanta. I drove down here from Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I was stationed at. After I met him, I kept coming to Atlanta to work with him. We were putting out music. He introduced me to YFN Lucci, and from YFN Lucci, I was sending him beats, and that's how my first major placement came about, which was Boss Life. I didn't know much about music. I didn't have a manager. I didn't have anything, but they gave me my producer advance. My advance, it was only like $2,000, $1,500 to $2,000. I can't exactly remember, but I was so excited, and I'm just like, man, the first thing I did with my money was go buy equipment. And I went and bought a MIDI keyboard that was so advanced. I didn't have any business with that MIDI keyboard, but I was just so hyped that I got paid off of my music. That's all I wanted to do. So after that, I made a YouTube page. Taz Taylor and Internet Money was taking over on YouTube. So I'm like, man, if them boys making all this money, why can't I? And I was dropping beats on there. I was dropping type beats, all type of type beats, because back then the game was different. You could drop like different artists and your videos would still blow up. And I was, some guys was actually buying some beats from time to time. 200 here, 50 here. I was buying Jordans and stuff with my money when I would get paid. So it was just exciting. Regardless, I went out on deployment, and that took away a lot of my time. For those who don't know what a deployment is, you leave for like a couple months. I was in the Navy, so I was leaving on a ship, going to the Red Sea, staying out there for a little bit, coming back 8 months later. And you lose a lot of momentum with that. But I was about ready to get out the military, and my years were coming up. So I decided to get out and chase my dreams with producing. Once I got out of the military, I had to make a decision. I didn't want to work, so I went to school and used my GI Bill so I could pay my bills, my rent, and my car note. So I was getting about like $1,900 to $2,000 a month off of the GI. And with the GI, I said, I'm going to continue going to school, and I'm going to go to school until I'm selling enough beats on YouTube to live. And this was in 2018. I had watched a video from Drum Dummy of how he was making 6 figures online selling beats. And I said, okay, cool. I'm going to try the same formula he did for a year and see where it gets me. So I was selling beats online on YouTube, and I was doing like strictly Chicago people because that's where I'm from, and I wanted to kind of take over my city. So I was just doing like G Herbo, Lil Durk, and I think Polo G. This is when he first started rapping, and he came out. And over a year, I finally made $4,000 in a month off selling beats, which was 2 times as much as I was getting paid from the military. So I was like, okay, I just made $4K. What am I going to do this month? This month is going to tell me everything that I need to be doing as far as going to school. And the next month is when I started dropping Roddy Ricch type beats, and I had my first beat take off, which was Sky Red, and it had like 2 million views, and I made $20,000 in that month. So I stopped going to school, and when I stopped going to school, I went full-time production, full-time YouTube producer. It was amazing. I kept doing YouTube, and that's where I met Tusi. Tusi found me on YouTube. When he found me on YouTube, we connected. We started working together. That's when I met my manager, Flip, who also manages Tusi as well. We kind of took off. We made Platinum Heart. I had like the whole project damn near. I had like maybe like 9 beats on there. I can't even remember the exact amount, but I had a lot of beats on there. That's when I really figured out like, okay, this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm all the way in now. Love Cycle had took off, and I was making so much money on YouTube that I moved out of my old apartment, and I moved into a high-rise condo in Atlanta in 2020. I think it was April of 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And from there, I said, okay, you know what? I'm doing really well right now. I'm going to keep making music, and I'm going to evolve as a producer. So I started to do different types of things and production. You know, I started to have people come cook up at the crib on an hourly fee. I started to do consulting with some producers, which helped a lot of people out. I was doing collaborations at one point in time, and it was just, everything was just flowing in. And, you know, before I knew it, I checked my PayPal, and, you know, the PayPal statement said I made $200,000 in a year. And I'm just like, man, this is insane. You know, like, just straight working full time as a producer. Before all of that had happened, it was a struggle in my life. You know, I was very broke at times after paying bills. Like, sometimes I would have to scrape change out my car to eat and do other things. I might have been eating so much McDonald's that my stomach couldn't take it, and you know, I needed some Wendy's today, so I got to find quarters and stuff around my car, and it wasn't easy. You know, it was some struggle in it. I had to go late on some bills sometimes just to keep some money in my pocket to live. But all in all, you know, by the grace of God and hard work, everything worked itself out. And you know, my journey just really wasn't the easiest, and I know that's very relatable for some of you guys. Over these last couple of years, I've definitely have changed my platform and changed what I am doing as a producer. As you guys can see now, I'm not really dropping type beats. I'll make a video about that later, but I'm just doing different things and producing. You know, the records that I have, the records that I'm still getting, they pay very well in royalties, and you know, when I get my royalty checks, I'll just put it away and save it. You know, it's tens of thousands of dollars, so it's just cool to know that you're getting that. And I'm doing producer camps now, Airbnbs, for those who don't know, where producers gather together in a big dope house and we all make beats and just we're on a producer vacation. I consult producers now, YouTube with videos, I'm doing that. And it's just a lot of things that you can do in production to really make you money, which I'm going to make another video about that as well. But I'm just really telling you guys that the journey is never really easy, and you never know what you're going to end up doing. I'm just very blessed to be in this position, from going from the military, having a 1st and 15th, to having nothing and, you know, struggling, and I might miss a meal or two, but I'm hustling. I'm trying to produce and make beats and chase my dream, to being at the top, you know, being there and just living life and doing that off of making beats. And it's just been an amazing journey, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because I'm very happy in my life now. I have a consistent career. I make a consistent amount of money every year. I'm sharing my story to tell all you producers, like, don't give up. Keep chasing your dreams, because I went from $0 to making 6 figures as a producer every year, and it's very possible to do as long as you have a plan and execute it. I came on here today to just talk to you guys about the journey that I had from, just starting off playing basketball at Albany State to now just being Ant Chamberlain, making 6 figures as a producer. Man, I thank God every day for the position. And, if you love this music thing that we do and you really have a passion for it, man, chase your dreams. Do not quit. Do not give up. You're one song away, one beat away from changing your life. And I'm just here to tell you guys to stay consistent and always have that passion and fire that you had when you first picked up the program. So happy Saturday, everybody. My name is Ant Chamberlain. God bless y'all, and I'm out of here.